All right, we're going to go over why your credit apps are killing your car deals and what you can do to turn it all around. I've seen this time in, time out, been in over 200 different dealerships in over the 25 years I've been in the automotive industry. From green peas to veterans, I see these mistakes happening all the time. It's, sometimes we're getting a credit application at the beginning of the car deal. Sometimes we're getting a credit application at the end when they've agreed to buy the vehicle. Sometimes it's different at each dealership. But when we are in a hurry and trying to rush through that credit application, we're putting that credit application in the customer or client's hands alone without guiding them through it. You're just asking for incorrect information and mistakes that could potentially kill your deals before you even have a shot. And so what do I mean by that? First mistake is getting wrong information. Wrong information can be one of the quickest things you can do to get your deal turned down, or, in this industry, a lot of our approvals are system automated approvals where there's not even an analyst that looks at that deal. So that's what we would like, is to be able to get the system to approve it. But if information is incorrect, that system's not going to be able to approve it. And it could be little things like misspelling of addresses, names, incorrect date of birth, incorrect socials. Those are all extremely important. When you're talking with your customer, help them to fill that application out. Get their driver's license. Make sure that driver's license has their current address. Make sure their name is spelled correctly. Verify. Maybe their driver's license had their name spelled wrong. There could be all kinds of information. So get the information, help them, or write it out for them. Make sure the name's spelled correct. First name, middle name, last name. Make sure date of birth is correct. You want to go over this multiple times just to make sure that when we submit this deal in for approval, that we have the chance of getting a system approval, getting this deal done right away. It speeds up the process. We all know time kills deals. So if we can get that approval faster, it's all the better, especially when we have a customer ready to buy that vehicle. Make sure you are getting all the information correct. Sit there with the customer. Don't hand them the application and then walk away. Sit there and go over line after line with them. Here's another thing. Get more information. So if they have a current address, what's their previous address? If they have a current job, what's their previous job? You have to get at least a few years of work history. If they're at 1 month, 6 months, you could go back and get a third job. Get as much information as you can. Make sure you have the work phone number in there. Make sure you have the correct spelling of the employer. Make sure you have and here's a big one, their income correct, and all of their income. 90% of people do not know what they make. And when you say put your gross monthly income, a lot of people don't even know what that means. So you have to break it down for them. You can ask them questions like, are you paid hourly or are you paid salary? If you're hourly, how much do you get paid an hour? How many hours do you work a week? And then you can help them to calculate what their actual gross monthly income is. You can also ask them for a pay stub or a W-2, if depending on the time of year. Maybe they have that information. And then, like I said, it can make or break your deal. I see so much income left on the table by customers because most customers put their net income, not their gross income. These are very important, and this is beginning stuff, but it's also very advanced because it can break your deal if you don't get it right. Make sure you're getting the income right. So it's not only how much an hour, how many hours a week. If your salary, how much of your salary? And then, do you have any additional income? Is there child support? Is there alimony? Are there any investments? All this can be put in your credit application to make sure that you have every dollar of income possible. And here's the thing. Some customers have provable income. Some people don't have provable income. Maybe they're self-employed. That doesn't mean that you can't put their income down on the application. If the lender ends up asking for proof of income, then we have to deal with that later. But we don't go into every deal thinking that we have to prove income on every single customer, because if they have good enough credit or if the lender's not asking for it, you can go right through that. So don't spend too much time gathering like proof of income right up front unless they have it with them. But just verify that you have the correct income by going over those things. How much an hour, how many hours a week, our hourly or salary, how much an hour, how many hours a week, and if their salary, how much a year. And then again, any additional income, child support, alimony, investments, anything. Maybe they own a small business on the side, whatever it could be. Put every dollar amount that you have there, because more income can definitely help your deal score out better. The lower the payment to income of the deal. So if the customer makes 10 grand a month and they're trying to get a $500 payment, that's realistic. But if they're going to make $10,000 a month and they're trying to get a $3,000 Lamborghini payment, probably doesn't make as much sense to the lender. So there's a lot of things that we have to make sure we're getting every dollar of that income. Again, going on to number 3 here, make sure when you're putting down, know where they live. Do they own their own place? Is it a mortgage? Are they renting? Are they living with relatives? When you're putting down a credit application, if you put 0 for their rent, most lenders are gonna just put in some sort of rent factor for them. $400, $500, $600 a month automatically gets put in that, even if you put 0, because not very many people have 0 rent. So if they're actually living with relatives and they're paying $200, put that down there. Or if they're whatever it may be, but get all the details on where they live and what they're paying. And then also, here's another one, joint applications. I see people all the time, and you could see it sometimes when you're getting the application. You might have a husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, 2 people, whoever they may be, but they're only giving you one person's information. Why is that? Maybe the last dealership they were at told them that she couldn't be on, or a lot of times they just think, oh, her credit's too bad, or this is a big one, she doesn't work, or he doesn't work, whatever it may be. But that doesn't matter if he works and she doesn't work, or vice versa. What if one's got the income and one's got the credit? That's a huge deal. She could not have a job but have great credit and definitely help that car deal. Make sure you're doing your best to get all the information. And you can tell them, hey, you guys, we'll get both your information, and if it hurts the car deal, we'll only put it in one person's name. But if you give us the opportunity to look at both ways in both applications, we can tell you which way is going to save you guys the most money. Is that fair enough? Okay, great. Go ahead. Let's go over that application. And that is how you get that joint application. And these are little things that you can continue to do on every single car deal. And you could even go back on some of your car deals. I've helped customers all the time. Hey, pull up some of your dead files. Let me take a look at them. I go through. I can take a look at applications right away and see if they were half-assed or not. Okay, 3,000 income, 3,000 even. That's their real income. Like, how are they paid? Are they salary? Are they hourly? I can look at the application and know almost all the time if it's been half-assed or if they really did a great job on getting that application. So if you want to make more car deals right now, if you want to go back on some of your dead deals and revive some of those dead deals, take a look at what I just told you. Go back, check out those car deals. See if you can revive some from the dead. And I promise, become a ninja at credit apps, and you're going to make more car deals. It's going to be easier. You're going to get more system approvals, less dips, and it's going to make selling cars a whole lot easier. I hope this information helped. If it did, drop me a like, drop me a comment, and we'll see you on the next video.